Stop waiting for motivation. Have you ever noticed how many people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect moment to finally start something? As if one day, out of nowhere, they'll wake up full of energy, full of clarity, full of motivation, and everything will suddenly feel easy. It sounds comforting, doesn't it? But here's the truth that most people avoid. That moment almost never comes. Motivation doesn't appear by magic, it doesn't knock on your door, and it doesn't choose you. It is built. It is created. It is forged through your actions, especially on the days you don't feel like doing anything at all. Most people believe they need motivation before they act. They think, when I feel ready, I'll start. But the reality works in the opposite direction. You only feel motivated after you begin. Think about how many times you told yourself, tomorrow I'll start. Tomorrow I'll change. Tomorrow I'll try. But when tomorrow arrives, nothing happens. And the cycle repeats. Not because you're incapable, but because you're trapped in the illusion that motivation must come first. And while you wait, life keeps moving. Opportunities pass. Time slips away. And the weight of inaction starts to grow inside you. Now imagine a different approach. Imagine someone who doesn't wait to feel ready. Someone who wakes up tired, unmotivated, even doubtful, but still chooses to act. That person takes the first step, even if it's small. And something interesting happens. That single action creates movement. That movement creates progress. And that progress begins to generate motivation. Do you see the shift? It's not about waiting for the perfect feeling. It's about creating momentum, even when the feeling is absent. Ask yourself honestly, how many dreams of yours are still sitting on a shelf, waiting for the right moment? How many ideas have you postponed because you didn't feel ready enough? The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only the moment you decide to act. While some people are waiting for a sign, others are already moving. And that's the difference between those who achieve and those who only imagine. Look at people who succeed in any area of life. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. Do you really think they wake up every day feeling inspired and excited? Of course not. Many of their most important actions happen on days filled with doubt, fatigue, and resistance. But they move anyway. They don't depend on motivation. They depend on discipline, consistency, and commitment. They understand that feelings are temporary, but actions build results. And here's something powerful. When you act without motivation, you are training your mind to become stronger than your emotions. You stop being controlled by how you feel and start being guided by what you decide. That's where true growth begins. Because if you only act when you feel like it, your life will always be limited by your mood. But if you learn to act regardless of how you feel, you unlock a level of power that most people never reach. Think of it like pushing a car that's stuck. In the beginning, it's heavy. It feels almost impossible to move. Every step requires effort. But if you keep pushing, slowly, the car begins to move. And once it's moving, it becomes easier to keep it going. Life works the same way. The hardest part is always the beginning. But once you create momentum, everything changes. Your energy shifts. Your focus sharpens. And motivation starts to appear, not as a starting point, but as a result. Now reflect for a moment. What is one thing you know you should start, but you keep postponing? Maybe it's taking care of your health. Maybe it's working on a project. Maybe it's changing a habit. The first step doesn't need to be big. It just needs to exist. Because every small action is like a spark. And sparks, when repeated, become fire. And when you learn to create your own motivation, something incredible happens. You stop depending on external circumstances. You stop waiting for the perfect mood, the perfect timing, the perfect conditions. You become self-driven. You become the source of your own energy. And that kind of power is unstoppable. Because it doesn't fade with bad days. It doesn't disappear when things get hard. It grows stronger. The truth is, every day you spend waiting for motivation is a day you lose. And every day you take action, even without motivation, is a day you win. It's one more brick in the construction of your future. Imagine where you would be today if you had started 6 months ago. Now imagine where you could be 6 months from now if you start today. Time will pass no matter what. The only question is, will you move with it, or will you watch it go by? The world doesn't wait. Life doesn't pause. And your dreams won't chase you forever. If you don't act, someone else will. If you don't build, someone else is already building. But the moment you decide to act, right now, not tomorrow, you shift everything. You stop being a spectator and become a creator of your own path. So here's your challenge. Take one small action today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Because that action is the beginning of everything. And if this message resonates with you, make a commitment. Say it out loud, or write it down. I create my own motivation. Not as a phrase, but as a decision. Because your future will not be built by luck or chance. It will be built by what you choose to do, especially on the days you don't feel like doing anything at all. Remember this, motivation is not the start. It is the result. Action comes first. Always. So get up. Start now. And show yourself what you're capable of becoming.